and senior leaders who are about to embark on their visible learning journey the 2 or 3 things that they needed to do to ensure quality implementation, what would you tell them?
It's a great question. I think the first thing that they have to do is realize that there is not a silver bullet. Out of anything that comes out of some of the early visible learning work, it's that epiphany from people realizing that, as John Hetty tells us, knowing our impact is what's really going to drive student learning. There isn't one strategy, there isn't one situation that's going to increase the learning of all of our students. So to not think that we will just bring visible learning in and we're going to have a drastic change in culture and practice or student learning. But after that, I think they need to think deeply about making sure visible learning becomes the construct through which they do all the existing work, to monitor how their PLCs, their formative assessment practices, their RTI, all of those things will become embedded by using the visible learning work. The next thing that I think is critical, and I think we've learned this here in Valley View, is to plan for adult learning to be just like anybody else's learning. It takes time. And to plan for people to have an opportunity to practice, to be okay with failing, be okay with taking risks, be okay with making mistakes, and to think about how over time you build the work through what you do in your buildings, what you do through your professional development, and so people have a chance to become comfortable with the work. So many of the responses over the last 2 days that were successful were people saying, we needed time. We needed a chance to come together. We needed a chance to look at things differently. We needed a chance to practice. And we needed a chance to then collaborate and talk about if it was working. If those things aren't in place, it's not visible learning. You could add any construct in. It's probably not going to move student learning. But I think more importantly, this work has the potential to do that. So let's think about doing it well. Let's measure twice and cut once, and plan for adults to have a chance to, over time, feel really good about the changes that they're doing in their classroom, which are eventually going to change impacts on student learning.